Let's not forget that Mike Johnson's most recent post on his Instagram page was this. Check out the links in the description for my favorite apparel, Bibles, books, commentaries, and more. Howdy y'all, I'm Brylan. Unless by His grace, God allows some sort of revival in this nation, we are witnessing the end of America. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that as a scare tactic. The signs are all around us. And if you can't see those signs, then you've been asleep and you need to wake up. This isn't the end of America due to foreign invaders. This is a death certificate that's been signed by those who took an oath and swore to protect this nation. This is an absolutely tragic story. In this video, I want to show you what the House just passed, this $1.2 trillion government spending bill to avert a government shutdown. Don't believe that for a second. This has nothing to do with wanting to avert a government shutdown. Oh no. They'll still get paid. This means nothing to them. Now, I'm going to show you some stunning details in who's behind this bill as well. You know, it's important that we know this stuff so that we know who we're electing and stop electing these kind of people. Hey, real quick, would you hit that thumbs up button? You know when you like this video to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth. But check this out. The House of Representatives narrowly passed, with the help of Republicans, a $1.2 trillion federal spending package along bipartisan lines. Nothing bipartisan about this. The legislation was expedited onto the House floor via suspension of the rules. So this was passed, if you didn't know, in the middle of the night when you were sleeping. Now, Republicans have the majority, and Republicans aren't the saviors of this nation, by the way. I want to make that clear. No, unfortunately, a lot of Republicans in our government are worse than the liberals because they're a wolf in sheep's clothing. They'll say one thing and then do another behind your back, as I'm going to show you in just a second. But look at this. The package comprised of 6 appropriation bills that account for roughly 70% of discretionary government spending was unveiled around 3 a.m. Oh, funny how that works. It puts Congress one step closer to ending a month-long war that has spurred historic levels of dysfunction within the U.S. GOP's razor-thin majority. The bill is aimed at funding the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, Education, Health and Human Services, and legislative branch. So this bill funds everything that is wrong with America. It pushes an agenda, and Republicans passed it. But listen how sick this is right here. Both Republican and Democrat negotiators walked away declaring victory on striking a deal. Johnson touted cuts to funding for non-government organizations, a 6% cut to overall foreign aid funds, and policies like banning the State Department from flying non-official flags at diplomatic facilities. So before we look at what the Democrats got in this bill, Speaker Johnson showed his true colors when he allowed this bill, when he pushed for it. Speaker Johnson is responsible for this. It's absolutely disgusting what this man just did. So what the Republicans got out of the deal was that U.S. embassies won't be able to fly pride flags because they're not an official flag. But the thing is that the Democrats are going to have complete control of the government again. And guess what? They're going to make an official flag, the pride flag. So in this $1.2 trillion package, Republicans are touting we can't fly unofficial flags at U.S. embassies outside of America. That's what we get. That's what is most important. Well, look, the Democrats cheered the exclusion of enforcement measures of the House's GOP H.R. 2 border security bill. So guess what? You know, the border disaster going on right now that the Biden regime is allowing to happen. None of that is a part of this. No protections, nothing to help secure the border was a part of this. And Mike Johnson has been touting and saying, we will not pass anything. We will not do anything until the border is secure. We will make sure that no bills, no omnibuses pass unless the border is secured. Well, the border's the worst it's ever been in our nation's history. And they went ahead and passed this bill. And the Democrats are cheering that no border security was a part of it. And it was something that the conservatives even demanded be a part of it. And then they just caved, because that's what Republicans do. But we also got $1 billion to increase climate and green energy programs. Now, keep in mind that this bill that was just passed, Biden signed it, essentially gives complete and utter control to the Democrats as well. So now, even with a Republican majority, none of that matters. The Democrats now essentially are going to have complete and utter control. That's one thing that Mike Johnson decided, yeah, no big deal. Let's go ahead and just pass this bill, give Democrats everything they want, just don't be flying unofficial flags outside of the U.S. This should tell you everything you need to know about this bill. Biden says the $1.2 trillion spending package is good news for the American people. You know, whenever the Biden regime says that something is good news for America, you can bet it's exactly the opposite. This is the type of omnibus package. This is the type of spending that our government does that destroys our country. And this has put us on the brink of absolute disaster. Then the president called the mammoth $1.2 trillion spending package a compromise. So neither side got everything it wanted. So Republicans got, you can't fly flags that aren't official U.S. flags in other countries. The Democrats got literally almost everything that they possibly could have wanted. Now, this bill is eerily similar to another bill that the Republicans helped pass not too long ago. If you've seen my video, America Will Not Survive What Happens Next, go watch this video. There's a lot of important information in there. But I showed this. The Lakewood border deal that he made with Schumer that they passed. It gives work permits for adult children of H-1B holders, immediate work permits to every non-legal person in this country. It gives taxpayer-funded lawyers to certain UACs and mentally incompetent, not legal people, and 5,000 not legal per day allowed in the U.S. Oh, and it restricts parole for those who enter without authorization. This man over here, Lakewood, a Republican, very high-ranking Republican, helped pass this atrocity, just like Mike Johnson helped pass this $1.2 trillion atrocity to avoid a government shutdown. Let's not forget that Mike Johnson's most recent post on his Instagram page was this.
And my report is this. The State of the Union is strong.
You should come. Surge to the border.
Migrants surge across from Mexico.
Pushing resources to the limit.
Some of those not part of the terror watch list.
Every state is a border state. Every city is a border city.
Sharp rise in the amount of drugs.
8,500 pounds of fentanyl.
Cartel controls everything that happens here.
America is at a breaking point.
Joe Biden is touting Bidenomics.
Bidenomics is working.
78% of voters view the economy negatively.
And that the president is to blame.
We're changing people's lives.
Unrelenting price increases.
Sticker shock is hitting millions of Americans hard.
The highest economic growth in 40 years.
The highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years.
I got that.
Crime is dominating the headlines.
Surge of violent smash and grab robberies.
24% more murders.
The buck stops with me.
The Middle East in flames. Israel has formally declared war.
The Taliban has returned to power.
Embassy shuttered. The flag coming down.
Vladimir Putin doesn't fear this president.
Xi Jinping told President Biden China will reunify with Taiwan.
Weakness invites aggression.
Appeasement has failed.
This open season on America.
The country has soured on Joe Biden.
The most vacation days taken by a president.
The White House in damage control.
Where is the president? Why isn't he communicating?
Mike Johnson posts this and then a few days later passes one of the absolute worst funding bills. It's absolutely disgusting. It's this type of rhetoric where these Republicans that claim to be fighting for America, like Mike Johnson, and gets you in all the feels with videos like this, and then turns around and sells out America. All the while this is going on, you see that all the Senate Democrats vote against stopping taxpayer money for non-legal immigrant flights into U.S. Now, they've flown in 300,000 people into this country. Now, they'll want to tell you nothing can be done about the border, but Biden 100% has the ability to shut down the border, to not allow this to be happening. And this isn't just because we're not able to stop this invasion. They're willingly implicit in it. And flying 300,000 people into this country and just releasing them into the U.S. This is a planned invasion. And it's not just the Democrats who are voting against stopping your money from funding it. It's the Republicans as well, completely complicit in allowing this to continue to happen. Keep this in mind, Matthew chapter 15. Let them alone. They are blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind leads the blind, both will fall into a ditch. This is Jesus talking about the Pharisees here when the Pharisees were ridiculing Jesus. And when Jesus says it's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth that defiles a man. The Pharisees hated Jesus because Jesus threatened their rule. And so they did everything they could to try to destroy Jesus. And Jesus warned us about people like this, saying that they're blind. And if the blind lead the blind, then they're both going to fall into a ditch. And that's what we've done. Blind ourselves to what's going on. No, it's not actually happening, or it won't affect me. It will affect you. Keep remaining silent. Continue to elect people that run on destroying America. And when they destroy America, you act surprised. Well, no, it's because you've blinded yourself. And the blind leaders that you elected are now leading the blind people into a ditch. But nothing's ever too late for God. If we continue to pray, stay steadfast in the truth, and ask the Lord to open the hearts and the minds of our leaders in government, but just the everyday American. Ask God to give them a reverence for Him, for truth, and that we would stand on truth and do what's right. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you regularly. And please hit that thumbs up button, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.